Hi everyone, I'm Sandy and happy Tuesday. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a tag video for you, but I also have some book mail and I will announce the winner of the giveaway for that beautiful copy of the Arabian Nights. I'm excited about that. I'll put timestamps in for you, so if you want to hop around, you can go check out the tag or check out the winner, whatever you want to do today, but I'm very excited. So for the book mail, I got a piece of mail from my wonderful friend, David Wiley. If you're not familiar with David's channel, I will leave him linked in the description below for you. You should absolutely go check him out. He had noticed that I had read this book, The Golden Ass, and sent me something I believe related to it. I have opened the top of it because it was going to be really loud. But I haven't looked at it yet. So let's see what Mr. Wiley has sent me. He did tell me about this. So he has sent me C.S. Lewis, Till We Have Faces, A Myth Retold. And so if I remember correctly, this is the story of Cupid and Psyche, who is married to Cupid, which I believe is Venus's son. Cupid is Venus. I think it's Venus's son. Is that right? I don't remember now. I'm gonna have to go back and look again. But this is this story, which is featured in this book. So that is why David sent it to me. So thank you so much. I can't wait to read this. I have read some C.S. Lewis before. I have read the Chronicles of Narnia and the Screwtape Letters. Is that what it's called? Yes, I believe I've read that one. So yeah, but thank you so much, David. Interestingly enough, this story, The Golden Ass, is also, and someone in the comments had told me this when I said I was going to be reading this, and now I see why. It is featured all over the place in Cloud Cuckoo Land. So very fascinating connection of 3 different books and stories all put together. But thank you so much, David, for sending me the book. I really appreciate it. Weird, these 3 books together, all interconnected. So all right, for the tag today, to get on to the next part, the tag today will be the Atwood Adventure Tag. This was originally created by Jolene at Bookworm Adventure Girl, and she kindly tagged me in her original tag, so I'm very thankful for that. Thank you so much, Jolene. If you're not familiar with her channel, she did a series in 2021 where she read all of Margaret Atwood's work and had a series called Mondays with Margaret. I myself have only read 3 Margaret Atwood books, which are The Handmaid's Tale, The Testaments, and Blind Assassin, which I just read this year. So I'm not as familiar as she is, but you don't actually have to know anything about Margaret Atwood in order to do this tag, which is great news. So I will leave Jolene's channel linked in the description below for you so you can go and check her out. And yeah, she's doing a tour of her bookshelves right now, which is absolutely amazing. The one from today had a classic section with some very pretty classics on it. So yeah, definitely go check her out. But for the prompts, let's go ahead and jump right into them. And I'll be looking kind of over here because that's where the questions are listed. So sorry about that. Prompt number 1. Before publishing her first collection of poetry in the early 60s, Margaret Atwood had several other jobs, including working at summer camps. What was your first job? So outside of babysitting, that kind of thing, my first job was actually at Dairy Queen. I know. And yeah, it was kind of that transition job from going out of high school onto something else. I actually didn't start in information technology, which is what I work in now, until I was in my 30s. So yeah, Dairy Queen. Number 2, while growing up, Margaret Atwood's family spent several months each year living in the bush in northern Ontario. What is a survival skill that you have that would help you survive living off the grid? Well, how long am I living off the grid? Is it a survival situation where I'm trying to navigate us out? I certainly have those skills where I can read a compass and a map, and I always have stuff in my backpack when I'm out hiking. But if you're talking a long-term survival skill, yeah, it would be a bit of a struggle. I'm used to having, be able to turn on the stove and get heat and to be able to cook. And so I also have a black thumb. I don't know that I would do very well in real living off the grid situation. I'm sure I could learn. Pretty sure. Number 3, Margaret Atwood grew up reading comic books. Do you have a favorite comic book or comic book character? Well, my husband's favorite one is Tintin. We have figurines downstairs and books of that and Calvin and Hobbes. For me, as a classic comic book character, I always loved Garfield. Garfield, the cat who hates Mondays and only wants to eat lasagna. I always really loved reading that comic strip. Talking other characters, I definitely like Mickey. Mickey's one of my favorites. I do have here, this is Mad Mickey. I don't know why I like Mad Mickey so much. He sits on my computer over here every day looking at me. And then if you see up here, I actually also have a Frankenstein Mickey, I have a Mad Scientist, and I have a Mummy Mickey over there. So I do identify with Mickey, even though it's not really a comic book character. It's a comic. It's a cartoon, not a comic. All right, moving on. All right, number 4, Margaret Atwood is not only a poet and an author, but she has also illustrated books and shown her creativity in so many other ways. What are some ways that you are creative? I am not super creative. Like, I don't edit my videos a lot and put in, fun things. It always looks weird to me, and so I tend to not do that. I can put up a picture of something, but that's about the bulk of what I can do. I don't draw anything like that. The one thing I do is I knit. I have knitted for a number of years. My grandmother taught me, and I like making things like baby blankets for people or Afghans, things like that. I have made several, and I still have the one my grandmother made me a number of years ago, which I cherish. So that's one of my ways I'm creative. Number 5, some of Margaret Atwood's writing is inspired by myths, folk tales, and fairy tales. What is your favorite myth, folk tale, or fairy tale, and why? I don't really have one I can think of as far as a favorite. I have read Aesop's Fables, but I don't remember a favorite from that. I do have this lovely copy of this Red Riding Hood type of character on the cover, but that was more for the aesthetics of the book rather than really liking that fairy tale. The fairy tales I remember are like Hansel and Gretel, or the Big Bad Little Red Riding Hood, or the Three Bears. Those are about the only kind of like stories I really remember off of the top of my head, because of course I didn't research anything before today's video. So yeah, sorry about that. All right, number 6, Margaret Atwood's most well-known novel is The Handmaid's Tale. What is a task or chore you wish you had a maid or servant for? So this one is a fairly easy one for me to answer because it's the thing I hate doing the most, which is laundry. It seems like a never-ending task. And yeah, especially if you have children, we always seem to have something in the washer and something in the dryer, and it never-ending task of laundry. Number 7, the themes Margaret Atwood writes about have stayed consistent in all of her writing for over 6 decades. She writes about the role of men and women in society, relationships, religion, marriage, and identity, to name a few. If Atwood were to write a novel about you, what are some things she would need to include? That'd be a pretty boring novel. I honestly haven't lived that exciting of a life. I don't think so. A love of the outdoors, maybe. Something along those lines. Tend to be very strong-willed, strong physically. That might be one. And I tend to be a very loyal and long-lived friend, I guess. I have a number of acquaintances, but if I let you into my close circle, which I count on, at one hand, the number of people that I have that I'm that close to, I will basically never let you leave my friendship. That's not entirely true, but my oldest friend I've known since I was, we'll just say 30 plus years. My next friends are 15 and 20 years. So yeah, if I let you in that close, definitely friendship would be one, because yeah, I don't really want to give up my really close friends. 8, Margaret Atwood has created words for her novels. She has talked about how this makes it difficult for translators of her work. Do you have a favorite word? What is your favorite? Just making sure I turn my mic on. I don't really have a favorite word. I do have been noticing lately, though, a tendency to repeat words in my videos, which I try and correct, but you know, how many times can you say it's amazing or exciting or interesting? Like, oh boy. But I don't really have one that I recognize as a favorite word. All right, number 9. Margaret Atwood was born in Canada and lives in Canada now, but she has also lived in other countries like the United States, England, France, Germany, and Scotland. What countries have you lived in, and or what is another country you would like to live in? I have only lived in the United States and really only lived in Washington State. We moved here when I was 5, and I have not moved away. I actually live about 30 miles away from where I grew up. I have traveled quite extensively and seen a large amount of the world, and there are a number of places that seem like they would be really interesting places to live. Canada has been one. Portugal has been another that we have kind of like, maybe we could retire somewhere, but yeah, I think those two would be good choices. All right, number 10. Margaret is an advocate for caring for the earth. What is something you do to help take care of our planet? So we absolutely recycle. We have a very large recycling bin because we recycle as much as possible. We also are transitioning to more of a plant-based diet, not a vegan diet, but a plant-based diet. We're not completely giving it up, but we have reduced it down significantly, more for health reasons though, rather than necessarily planet reasons. I also like to walk places or ride my bike places. Those are the main ones that I really do. Number 11, Margaret Atwood is passionate about animal rights, and some of her writing has included animals and reflection on animals. What is a topic you are passionate about? The outdoors. If you watch my channel at all, you know that I spend a ton of time outside in the summer, kayaking, biking, hiking, and one of the things is, especially about hiking, you're taking care of the trails, taking care of the environment. One of the basic tenets is to leave no trace. It is something that I get very frustrated with people out on the trails who are cutting trails or things like that, or leaving garbage. It's something that I feel very strongly about, just taking care of what we have. When I'm out, I want to make sure I'm not impacting the local environment that I'm out in. So that is definitely something I'm passionate about. Number 12, Margaret Atwood is supportive of new authors in a variety of ways. Who is a newer author and or what debut novels you wish more people knew about? I struggle with this one a little bit. The 1001 book list doesn't really lead you to a lot of newer authors, so you're reading a lot of backlisted work, so I don't have as much to pull from for this. The books that I read last year, certainly Minor Detail was one, and then Burnt Sugar by Avni Doshi was another one that I really liked last year. And yeah, those are going to be the two that I think I would say. All right, so tag some of your favorite booktubers. We have the jar today. So I'm going to just go ahead and draw. I'll draw 3. I haven't drawn from the jar in a bit, so let's see what we get. Bookins and Books, which is Elizabeth. I don't think Elizabeth has done this one yet. Would love to see her do it. And then the next one, Michael K. Vaughn. I don't believe I've seen Michael do this one yet. So Michael, you are tagged. And then the last one will be Very Literary Carrie. So all wonderful channels. If you're not familiar with him, you should go check them out. So it's Very Literary Carrie, Michael K. Vaughn, and the last one was Elizabeth at Bookins and Books. I don't believe any of you have done it. If you have done it, I apologize. But hopefully you have it and you decide to do it. If not, I totally understand. I have a backlog of tags. So, all right. And now for the drawing for the lovely version of the Arabian Nights, I have a fantastic wheel all set up, and we have a number of people who were interested in getting the books. I'm very excited. Let's spin. What are we gonna get? Angela Neff, you have won the copy of the Arabian Nights. Congratulations, yay! If you can email me at my email address, which is linked in the description for you, I will get that book right out to you. Very excited. Congratulations. I'm saying that is all I have for you today. So as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone. Thanks. Bye.